Hi, everybody. How are you? This is Andrew Lau from Hong Kong, and was very happy to see so many people from Singapore, Malaysia, United States, Hawaii, Canada, and so many different places. Was really appreciate, and I'm really good to see Pat also joining us. But anyway, just wanted to reason why we actually do this webinar with hot weather. Because really at the end of the day, worldwide the weather become very hot, and hot weather actually affect your diabetic patient. It's also affect your blood sugar because it's the hot weather, and cold weather also will do the same thing. So that's the reason why we create this webinar to help everybody to better understanding why hot weather you got to watch. You cannot just kind of ignore it, and you got to prepare yourself if you're diabetic. So very important. Are you a pre-diabetic? The same thing, no different, because your blood sugar will also go up together with the weather. OK， 各位朋友，多謝晒 Pat 又 join 我哋喺香港啊。咁今日咧有好多人喺夏威夷啦、加拿大啦、美國啦、不同地方啦、新加坡啦、菲律賓啦咁。咁佢哋講到嚟 join 我哋。咁其實點解我要做呢個 webinar 咧？因為咧好多人都唔知道咧，原來喺依家嘅熱嘅環境裏邊咧 ，hot weather 係真係 affect 到我哋嘅糖尿病病者嘅，所以要好小心咧，點能夠處理呢個 hot weather， 咁你先能夠咧令到幫助你咧唔會將糖彈得好高，咁變咗嚟講，亦都變咗你係對你嘅生活又唔好啦，同埋你個health 又唔好啦，咁所以今日咧個 webinar 好有用嘅。So today our webinar is very useful for everybody. Because really, at the end of the day, you see worldwide, not only in Hong Kong is now like what, 32, 3, 4 degrees and up. In England is 40 degrees and up centigrade. I'm talking about in US is almost at 90, 95 degrees and up. So everywhere is getting very hot. And hot weather, it'll be affected you on your blood sugar because it goes up. The hot weather goes up. If you're not prepared, your blood sugar will go up together. So we're gonna have some tips for you to how to better manage in a hot weather. So okay, so I'm gonna share my slides now and then go from there. So I'm just go through very quickly about 5 minutes worth of what is diabetes. You might have heard that before, but that's okay because I just want you to make sure continue to sink in. As you know, if you are pre-diabetic diabetes, pre-diabetic just a stage to moving you to be diabetes. And you are diabetes, once you got diabetes, you don't get well. You will continue to be diabetes. All you got to do is control. Don't let people fool you and say that, oh, I can cure your diabetes. It won't work because once you got it, you got it. If you have pre-diabetic, on the other hand, a better chance, you could reverse the chance from pre-diabetic to become a normal person. And you got to continue, maybe keep up your continue in pre-diabetic stage for a long time, but it's still good to go back to normal if you can. With that, you will eliminate all kinds of diabetic complications, as we mentioned later, like heart attack and all the stuff. But importantly, you also create a habit of lifestyle that not converting you to be a diabetes. And that's what I'm trying to do. And later on, I'll get an even more simpler style. You can maybe able to all remember, even if you're diabetes or pre-diabetic, just remember how to control and change your lifestyle by like dieting, exercising, weight control, blood measurement. And from there, and also sort of drinking Lowsutea will help you. And listen to our webinar to update. Net result, you will teach you how to manage your diabetes. And net result, you'll be healthier for a long period of time, maybe 10, 20 years with the same state. Then rather than get all sorts of complications, high healthcare costs, that would be terrible. So that is our objective. I hope I could achieve that at the end of the day. And that's the reason why I every week give you all these webinars. 各位朋友，其實你可能聽過晒嘢係咪 Andrew 咁沉氣啊？其實唔係嘅，因為我哋都希望咧多啲知識俾你知道咧，繼續俾你入腦啊！ 因為好多時你講一次兩次咧，可能唔記得咗，但係越講得多咧，可能就越幫你係記得多啲。咁你個然後之後咧，你就會知道OK 原來係咁嘅。咁其實咧記住咧，糖尿患病者咧係以後永遠都唔好嘅。Once你入咗去變咗糖尿患病者咧，你以後都糖尿患病者。如果咧前期患病咧，仲有機會咧係轉翻你係一個 normal person， 就唔使變咗糖尿患病。但係你要工作就係咩咧？要轉你所有嘅 lifestyle， 好似同埋糖尿病一樣啦，要 change 你個 lifestyle 係咩啊？你個 diet 啦，你個即係食物嘅控制啦，唔好話啲碳水化合物咁高啦，即係 carbs 啦。第二樣嘢要 exercise 啦。第三咧就係 weight control 啦，降低磅數啦。第四咧就係度你嘅血糖啦。第五咧就係咩啊？去聽多啲書，多啲了解。咁變咗嚟講，你會繼續控制你嘅糖尿病咧，就唔會壞。So important, really listen to all that. So drinking Lowsutea definitely will help to get you to be a better person, to get you lower your blood sugar naturally. So at the end of the day, how you become a diabetes or from pre-diabetic to diabetic, there are 4 stages, and everybody go through the 4 stages. The first stage is actually when your cholesterol goes up, which is the LDL cholesterol, which damage your B cells. And that result, there are more and more B cells coming out, but it doesn't work. And then your blood sugar, because B cells are the cells that from the insulin take the sugar into your cells. If that is not working, your blood sugar will continue goes up. That's the first stage with cholesterol, sugar will continue goes up. Second stage, your sugar and cholesterol mix together, the blood becomes thick and start forming plaques everywhere. And that plaque is going to be forming years to come, continue plucked up throughout your body. And that is the most detrimental to your health. A lot of people don't realize that. That's the one that will form plaques everywhere and pluck up your brain, pluck up your heart. Eventually, your blood pressure goes up. It pluck more, it will become heart attack down the road, right? So that is the major long-term health complication you will come in. That's why you don't want to be in that thing. And once you plug, you know what? You cannot reverse. That's the reason why diabetic cannot reverse. So you got to continue to make sure that your blood sugar and cholesterol does not goes up. So to do that, when you happen, your sugar goes up, your A1C go up. What is A1C? Is the hemoglobin, the percentage of glucose or blood sugar attached to the red blood cell hemoglobin. And they measure the percentage of hemoglobin that attached. So net result, every doctor does that. The third stage is doctor will say, hey, I will look at the A1C. If you're under 5.7, you're a normal person, but you are between 5.7 to 6.4, you are a pre-diabetic patient. And at this stage, you are not in disease stage. You still can able to reverse, but we have no medication for you. You got to basically only to change your lifestyle, exercise, diet control, and weight control, and convert that to lower your A1C below 6.4 and to maybe all the way to 5.7. Then you are in good shape. This is the third stage. But if you don't do anything, I can do my lifestyle, doesn't care. You know what? I'm sorry. Your life will become a diabetic. So everybody go through the 4 stage. And I think I want to make sure that you understand. And the whole world always measure your HbA1c everywhere in Hong Kong, in the United States, Chicago, Philippines, doesn't matter where you go. All doctor will look at your HbA1c to understand where you're at. 嗱，各位堂友，我哋要好記得咧，有4個 stage become diabetes 嘅。呢4個 stage 第一個咧就係你膽固醇上去啦，然後咧你個膽固醇咧就損壞咗你個 B cells 喺個胰島出嚟 B cell，B cell 帶啲糖咧入去個細胞裏邊嘅。當呢個係壞咗之後，摸胰島素出嚟，摸 B cell 出嚟咧都唔 work 嘅，咁變咗啲糖就上嚟啦，個cholesterol 上嚟咧，咁去咗 stage 2啦。咁最大呢個問題，其實所有嘅糖尿病都係有呢個問題嘅。Down the road 就係你將啲胰島即係 cholesterol 加糖塞到咧，就開始 form 好多咁呢個 plaques。咁呢 plaques 就塞晒全身嘅血管， 咁呢個嚟講咧，如果一路咁多年塞落去嘅時候咧，咁你就好大問題啊！好多 complication 腦有呢個即係stroke 啦，記唔到嘢啦，心臟病啦，個腎壞啦，哇！全身都係會咁嘅喎，所以呢個係一個好大問題。咁如果你係去到呢個 stage 嘅時候，血壓一定會上升㗎啦。咁嘅 stage 3咧就係你個血糖就開始上升啦。咁個醫生咧就開始 measure 一樣嘢咧，就係你個紅血球有幾多 percentage of 嗰啲糖黐住個紅血球。呢個紅血球嘅 HbA1c。咁黐住佢嘅時候咧，咁你咧就會係 end up 咧就睇，譬如係5.7咧就 normal 啦。但係如果你係5.7至到6.4咧，你係前期患病者；如果過咗6.4咧，就係糖尿患病者。咁呢個時間咧係最好嘅時間俾你係做咩啊？係控制你個血糖咧唔會上升。點控制啊？你一定要做你個 lifestyle change 啊，生活習慣全部改變，食嘢啦、diet 啦，唔好食啲高碳水化合物東西啦。要 exercise 啦，運動啦，仲有咧係減磅啊！咁原來咧之後咧仲咧就係度你血糖，知道你喺邊度啦。因為如果你唔度，你都唔知你喺邊度嘅。咁同埋咧仲有一樣嘢好重要咧，就係一定要咧係你繼續去了解多啲咩叫糖尿病，咁你先能夠咧係可以幫助你咧繼續去控制你個病情。因為呢個時間咧 by the way 係冇藥食喎，所以咧飲去糖茶啊。呢個一定係好大幫助你，同埋咧做你食嘅控制啦、exercise 啦，同埋你嘅度血糖啦，同埋咧係減磅嘅。咁你呢個咧就會知道你點去你個 progression。但係你咩嘅唔做咧 ？I'm sorry， 係一去到6.5以後咧，咁你如果半年多過6.5咧，咁其實你變咗糖尿病者啦。咁我希望大家唔好去過。當你變咗糖尿病者 ，will be very sad，because 你個好多併發症係出現㗎啦。So, how does Lowsutea works? Lowsutea basically is 2 ingredients. One is guava leaves delay the absorption of the sugar into the blood vessels, and the bitter melon is very excellent. What it does is actually increase insulin sensitivity. It takes sugar into the cells, and also cholesterol, and also takes sodium and cholesterol and sugar out from urine, so they don't reabsorb it, so it dumped it out. So when you drink Lowsutea, besides sugars are going down, your cholesterol also going down, your salt is going down, and when salt go down, your blood pressure also going down. So it's an excellent prayer. Plus, it helps you to detox all the bad stuff for your bodies. So it's really helped. So a lot of young folks actually drank Lowsutea. They found that the pimples are gone, the skin being healthier. The mother drink it, they lower the blood sugar, improve health, is so excellent. So something a lot of people now, besides the parents start drinking, now the whole family drink it. You can drink it ice, hot, doesn't matter. 嗱，去糖茶點做？有咩做出嚟嘅？去糖有2樣嘢嘅，第一就係有一個叫做番石榴葉啦，第二有苦瓜啦。番石榴葉係delay 咗佢個糖嘅 absorption， 去個腸嗰啲血管裏邊。但係仲要點咧？就係 bitter melon 苦瓜咧，係將個胰島素嘅敏感度係提升咗，咁就帶翻啲糖入翻去個細胞裏邊啦。第二樣嘢咧就係佢將嗰啲 excess 糖咧喺個尿嗰度咧係掉咗出嚟 ，cholesterol 而家掉咗出嚟，同埋仲有咩鹽又而家掉出嚟。咁當你有3樣掉出嚟之後咧，個血壓都降低，因為鹽降低。咁仲有咧，仲有排毒，哇，好啊！因為好多後生嘅人咧，點解飲咗係會好咧？就係個排毒方面咧，冇晒暗瘡啊，啲面皮膚好靚仔啊，呢個就係個功效出嚟啦。So if you decide not to do anything, what is the consequences? The consequences is, as I mentioned, remember the major problem of your diabetes is that it plugs your vessels are plugged, sugar and cholesterol become thick, and it plugs everywhere, all your body, entire body vessel, your brain, your heart, your kidney, your leg, everywhere. So net result, you're going to have high chances of a risk of stroke, loss of memory, your cataract, in a sense, you get eye blurriness, glaucoma, your pancreas is not going to work anymore, cannot come out with insulin, The more important is your heart, because you screw that, your heart disease will come up. And nerve damage become very, very serious because you cannot feel. So you got to start losing your sex function because you can't feel. 30% of people are loss of that function. And then you're going to have high blood pressure because all the vessels start damaging, start plugging up, right? And then plus because you lost your nerve damage, you're going to get potential amputation. And then your kidney going to start also damaged because of the vessels also plug up. So matter of fact, 70% of diabetic patients, most likely they will have some form of diabetic nephropathy. And that is kind of sad because a lot of people don't know. And once you get to a certain point, you know what? You're going to end up dialysis. That's why you have to really don't get yourself up to 30% loss, only over 30% of kidney function, then you are screwed. And if you have pregnancy, you have gestational diabetic, you got to watch, because as you move on later on, you might have the chance of actual diabetes come back. So all that really, you got to, it's a lifelong disease. That's why you need to start the habit. And if you get the habit, you know what? You will be successful. You will be much healthier. 嗱，各位朋友，如果你係有糖尿病嘅時候咧，好多人都唔 realize， 原來咧你唔做嘢，你又會 end up 有好多不同嘅風險嘅，有中風嘅風險啦，有唔記得嘢嘅風險啦，你有青光眼啦。個腎唔 work， 個胰臟唔 work， 咁啊冇咗啲 insulin 出嚟啦，咁你就要打胰島素啦，可能仲有咧就心臟病啦，仲有神經系統損壞啦。嗱，神經系統損壞係 affect 得好多地方嘅，有腸胃啦，有腦啦，有唔記得嘢，冇感覺啦，個腳冇感覺，損壞咗之後咧，你感覺唔到嘅發炎咧，割咗個腳啦，唔會好啦，咁啊血壓又會上升啦。咁血壓上升嘅時候咧，咁血管咧又會硬化啦，因為已經塞晒啦嘛。咁仲有腎病咧，亦都有個問題咧，70%嘅糖尿病病者有 some form of 腎病，即係個 potential 腎病嘅。咁腎病裏邊咧，就如果你去到個腎得翻30%嘅功能咧 ，guess what？ 你要洗腎啦，咁就好慘啦。咁同埋咧，仲有一個即係懷孕咧，你亦都知道，如果你有 gestational 咧，將來咧。有可能有 diabetes 嘅，咁同埋咧性功能咧30%嘅糖尿病者係冇咗性功能，因為佢冇感覺啊個 nerve damage 啊，所以所有呢啲嘢咧都係一個好慘嘅東西，所以希望你唔好 end up 就做呢樣。So our company basically have 5 programs which will help you for pre-diabetic diabetes to help you to basically if you have elevated blood sugar, so we will have Lowsutea help you to bring your pre-diabetic, diabetic patient will have, help you to understand what a better dieting, help you to drink Lowsutea, lower the blood sugar, so you won't convert your pre-diabetic to diabetes. And so the program will be, besides dieting, teach you how to low fat diet, plus we have the exercise, which you walk about 10,000 steps, we have weight control, which you have BMI less than 23, by the way, and listen to Dr. Webinar so you continue to understand what is diabetes to help you continue to motivate you, track the blood. And we hope that if you are A1C high as 10%, we'll drop you down to 5.7 if we could. And a lot of people say, I cannot do this. I can tell you, a lot of our clients now, it is got down to below 6, if even as high as 10. And they also got down to 5.7. But it does take work, meaning that they have to track the blood sugar, they have to follow the diet, they have to understand what they ate. They also need to measure themselves blood sugar daily. And on top of that, they actually do exercise, more than 10,000 steps, their weight control. So actually they go through a lot of work to really get themselves into that healthy state. Once they got the healthy state, they have no medication. They continue to be good, but you got to start early. Don't get too late and you start. It's not going to work, okay? So they love it because now they're supposed to get injection of insulin, no longer injection. How nice that is because no longer poke themselves. They continue to measure the blood sugar, so understand where they at. So really at the end of the day, it does work. It's a matter of you want to do it or not. 各位朋友，我哋公司咧其實好重要咧，有5個 program。第一個咧就教你點飲食啦，降低用啲低嘅碳水化合物食物啦，令到你個血糖降低啦，俾你唔好食去150至200個 gram of 呢個 carbs 啦。咁飲血糖茶真係會幫手嘅，因為血糖茶係幫助你咧降低唔淨啲血糖、膽固醇同埋呢個血壓。咁同埋咧教你去做運動咧。磅數減重，講一講啦。嗱，磅數係好緊要嘅。當你減咗10% weight 咧，你個 A1C 係 drop 1% 嘅。呢個係真係啊，因為我自己都睇到，我見到係咁嘅。所以變咗嚟講，同埋 manage 方面咧，當你輕啲嘅時候咧，你個 manage 咧係好容易嘅。咁同埋咧，你要聽我哋 Doctor Webinar， 我哋講書咧，咁我記得多了解啦。但係最用咧，你都要繼續 track 你 blood sugar。如果你唔 track 你 blood sugar 咧，你係唔知你做咩。咁我哋希望我哋 A1C 能夠由10% 跌到5.7%，有啲人係11、2咧都係跌到 more lower 就6嘅喎，所以係咪你去做嘢啫？其實我係見證咗好多朋友已經係做到呢樣嘢，但係佢最重要點啊？佢係要真係控制食嘅品啦、exercise 啦，同埋佢磅數啦，做晒呢幾樣嘢之後咧，佢真係唔使食藥、唔使打針，但係能夠 A1C 去到5.7以下或者係 between 6至5.7。如果你繼續係咁咧，哇 very nice 喎，你唔會有不同嘅併發症，係咪好啊？亦都你個 healthcare cost 唔會降低，唔會上升啊 rather 啊 ，OK？ So I just look at some data by the way. You know, if you really at the end of the day don't do anything, your diabetic costs, at least for Hong Kong at least, they already cost you approximately $10,000 per year. You like that? Wow, that's a lot of money because you have to get your medication, diabetes, insulin, and so forth. So I hope you cannot be not only just not healthy, but the cost of medicine is extremely high. In the United States, even higher. This is going to be 5, 6, 7 times higher. And we're going to help you on the healthcare and your quality of life and so forth. So do not get yourself into diabetes. If you're diabetic, try to get you back down to the pre-diabetic and below 6.0 on the A1C. That would be really important. So today we will talk about management of diabetes when weather is hot or cold. Now this is really a very so-called right on the time because right now outside temperature is so hot, and if you can able to get yourself in a much better preparation of the weather, your blood sugar will be much better controlled, and that's the objective of this webinar. Now recently, because it's so hot, as you know, when your blood sugar also go up with temperature, because like in US and Hong Kong or Philippines, our temperatures now is 40 degrees C or 104 Fahrenheit. That is extremely high. And with this high temperature, it affected your testing device, your strip, and also affect your body, how the insulin reaction and how to utilize this insulin, everything are affected. So that's why we hope that with this webinar, you have a better understanding of the hot weather affect you. So hopefully you can able to do something to prepare the hot weather with like the body, how to prepare the body to use this hot weather, and so you won't get high blood sugar. Okay? 各位朋友，其實今日個 webinar 好合時啊，因為點解依家香港嘅 weather、美國嘅 weather、菲律賓、英國都好高，應該係40度以上，美國係104以上，香港應該係35度以上。咁變咗嚟講咧，呢啲咁嘅weather is go up咧，咁就會 affect 咗你嘅咩啊？你血糖。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，我哋今日講嘅嘢咧，係會幫助你去多了解，咁你就能夠多啲去點樣去做啲功夫俾你身體去 accommodate 呢個weather 好高即係個好氣温好高咧，咁能夠令到啲血糖咧唔會哇咁繼續升上升。Okay, so we hope that this webinar give you some insight, some tip how to manage your diabetes in hot weather or cold weather situation. Okay, first of all, when the weather is hot, it's so important. You have to take lots of fluid to make sure you're hydrated. The reason why is that if you do not, your blood becomes very thick. And when your blood becomes very thick, your blood sugar will also become high, okay? So dehydration actually leads to elevated blood sugar level because your blood sugar becomes thick, okay? And because you have less blood also passing through the kidney and you have less excess of blood sugar will excrete from the urine. So net result, all the blood sugar are retained in the blood system. So net result, your high blood sugar will start coming up, okay? So really important, you have to continue hydrate yourself to make sure got a lot of water, a lot of Lowsutea tea. You can make it hot and cold. So drink a lot of Lowsutea tea before you actually become thirsty. The worst thing is you wait, you become thirsty to drink, then you are not really prepare yourself, because when you become thirsty, at that time you already actually your blood become already very thick. You already have less blood passing through the kidney. You don't urinate anymore. Your urine become concentrated, and you have a lot of sugar accumulated already in the blood system. So always prepare yourself, hydrate yourself, drink a lot of water. Is not wait till you're thirsty to drink. You drink it beforehand, or you drink Lowsutea tea, because Lowsutea tea will give you both the fluid, plus it also lower your blood sugar at the same time. Kill two birds with one stone. Isn't that better? And a lot of people say, I'm so hot. You can drink Lowsutea tea ice cold. Many of my US customers, they make Lowsutea tea in 2 big jug, 1 liter jug, or 34 ounce each bottle. And they actually store it in the refrigerator. The main night before I started the refrigerator. And they take Lowsutea tea with them throughout the day. If they have a little ice bag, they even do that too, some of them. But they drink this ice drink every day. And they said, this is marvelous. Because after I drink Lowsutea tea, I see my blood sugar go down. It doesn't go up to like 10, 12, or 150, 160, 180. They keep the blood sugar low. At the same time, they hydrate themselves. So do drink Lowsutea tea, hot or cold. Certainly in in Asia or in US, a lot of people drink it cold. That's perfectly good. Matter of fact, ice it. It will even better. 各位朋友，嗱，好重要咧，要保持身體嘅水分。點解咧？因為咧，當你個呢個氣温上升嘅時候咧，你個水分咧喺呢度係咁降嘅，喺個血裏邊。咁啲血係降低嘅時候咧，咁嗰啲血咧就變咁好結咯喎。咁當你尤其是唔夠水分嘅時候咧，你血糖就會上升嘅。點解咧？就第一，因為你唔夠水分嘅時候咧，你血會喺血糖咧會喺個身體走嚟走去啦。但係你因為唔夠水咧，佢唔會將嗰啲血糖掉埋出去喺個尿嗰度，咁就 keep 咗喺個身體嗰度喎。咁 end up 咧你咪繼續個血糖繼續上升啦。咁變咗嚟講，因你個 kidney 你個腎唔會掉啲血糖出嚟，又唔會掉晒其他嘢出嚟。咁咧變咗嚟講咧，你血糖咧繼續喺你個血管裏邊咧游嚟游去啦。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個係唔係一個好嘅東西 for you 啦？因為你最重要就唔想你血糖喺個血管度走嚟走去嘛。咁最重要咧就係要飲多啲水，令到啲血咧 become thinner 啦，同埋咧就即係多啲水分喺度啦。第二佢可以多水分咧就連埋啲水同埋糖掟埋出嚟咧。咁係咪飲水夠啦？最好其實飲去糖茶，因為去糖茶之後咧最低限度咧，你飲咗去糖由凍飲咧係將嗰啲仲有血糖會繼續幫你降低，仲有將啲糖咧係掟埋出去尿嗰度，因為你飲咗去糖茶 definitely 你去多啲小便嘅。咁多啲小便嘅時候咧，就將啲糖掟埋出嚟啦 cholesterol 掟埋出嚟啦，同埋你鹽掟出嚟，咁你亦都降低你血壓。 唔好等你頸渴先飲，要係未頸渴之後已經開始飲啦。咁一日飲幾多啊？最低限度咧，一日係飲2個 liter， 即係2公升嘅水啦。咁如果你係咪飲多啲得㗎？當然得，因為咧，如果係好熱咧，我係飲3公水啦，沖多包唔緊要嘅，因為呢個係幫助你咧係能夠降低你嘅血糖，仲有咧保持你身體水分係 OK 嘅。嗱，好多人唔知道咧，原來每日咧我哋應該係飲15杯水嘅，或者係飲3至4個 liter 嘅水嘅。咁2個 liter 係好少嘅啫，其實1半嘅水嘅啫，所以記得飲多啲啊。Another thing that a lot of people don't realize, when you get real hot, what you gotta do? You have to stay indoor, not outdoor. And a person, you know, we have been asking everybody to actually do 150 minutes of exercise every day, right? I mean, we all heard about this. So very important, you got to actually to do your exercise, but can you do it indoor? Absolutely you can, because you could, outdoor is so hot, you can do it indoor by walking in a shopping mall where they have air conditioning and, you know, wherever you are, places where comfortable air conditioning, you can walk around, just stay indoor, and you can, or you do exercise, do it like after dinner, whereby you have already no heat up there and you have after the wind. So you want to make sure do not do exercise in an extremely hot weather, because that will burn you up. So do it. If you want to do it outside, that's fine. But after dinner or early in the morning, like 6, 7 o'clock, where the weather is still cool. If you really want to do it in hot weather, do it inside in an indoor shopping mall or some kind of amusement park, wherever, but places with air conditioning. Then you'll be able to continue to exercise, be very comfortable, and able to burn up your calories and also your sugar. So that will be a good indicator for you, okay? Good tips for you. 嗱，各位同學，如果 weather 係好熱嘅話咧，你真係要擺喺即係唔好喺外面做嘢，做 exercise， 最好就喺室內做啦。咁有陣時喺室內點做啊？我成日提議咧，最好行 shopping mall。香港咁多 shopping mall， 行即係1個半鐘頭 shopping mall 係冇問題嘅，真係可以行得好多，又舒服，又有音樂聽，有冷氣嘆。行 shopping mall， 咁你咧就一定可以做到 burn up 到你嗰啲糖啦，同埋你唔會miss 咗你嘅 exercise 啦。仲要點咧？就係如果你話我真係要想出行嘅，唔緊要 ，OK。但係最緊要就日落後去行咧就好舒服啦。好多人咧行海邊啦，行不同地方啦，都可以行到咧。佢係食完飯後7、8點鐘已經係冇咗太陽去曬住嚟行咧，係十分舒服嘅。或者好早啦，6點鐘、7點鐘咧，亦都係 OK 嘅。所以記住唔好行出邊 outdoor 好熱嘅時候，最緊要行裏邊或者朝頭早晚黑行一啲即係日落嘅時間。Now, a lot of people are not sensitive enough to realize you really have to protect your medical device and medication when it's extremely heat area. Especially if you have insulin, you know, you have to inject your insulin. I don't know, a lot of people realize some of it is I have to refrigerate it. If you don't refrigerate it, your insulin can be bad. And especially when people took flight, people actually take insulin in a small little ice bag to keep the insulin to be cold. Because if not, you might have an issue that down the road, your insulin actually is spoiled, it doesn't work, okay? So in extreme summer, you gotta make sure that your device, your medication are kept in a very good container. Maybe best to put it into a ice pack area. So keep the insulin or medication in cool, area. So that result, your product will not, your medication and your glucometer will not be damaged. Because don't put it in a car. Because I found that people actually put them glucometer and the strip in the car after that it doesn't work. So it's already actually a lot of people are telling me, hey, how come it doesn't work? Because you would not know your car actually heat is as low as 130 degrees Fahrenheit, or will be over 40 to 50 degrees when the sun direct hit. So don't do that. Always keep the medicine in coolers if you are traveling, the cool gel pad, and keep, especially insulin has to be in a cooler and cannot be do it in a, just put in a, a package that is exposed to the sun. That will be terrible. Okay, so do not do that. 嗱，各位堂友，你個好多時都人都唔記得咗咧，其實你嘅藥物啦，同埋你個呢個所謂叫做glucometer 咧，去度血糖嘅機器啦，一定要去唔好太熱嘅地方，因為如果太熱嘅地方咧，你係損壞咗呢個 glucometer 同埋嗰啲 strip 啊都唔 work 嘅。佢如果過咗50度咧，其實係會即係損壞咗佢嘅。咁同埋咧，尤其是喺美國咧，好多地方好熱好熱咧，你個車裏邊可能係煎雞蛋嘅，所以變咗你咧，千祈唔好做呢樣嘢。嗱，好多人如果 travel 咧，尤其是係用胰島素嘅話咧，你要擺個細嘅即係雪櫃仔啊，即係啲雪袋仔，應該唔係雪櫃仔，咁能夠雪住啲胰島素。咁如果唔係咧，胰島素係太過熱咧，係會壞咗唔 work 嘅。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你呢個係要好小心。藥物咧一定要記住咧，係 keep 喺一啲凍啲嘅地方啦。你即係你擺個即係呢咁嘅雪袋仔咧，係幫助你咧 keep 呢個溫度咧係能夠係一個 good area good 嘅溫度啦，唔會係太過熱。OK， so one of the things that you also need to watch is the blood sugar, low blood sugar symptom, because as you goes up, the blood sugar goes, temperature goes up, your blood sugar will going to come down. And when that happens, you're going to feel shaky, you're going to feel hungry, you might get nervous, and you might also get sweet sweat, irritable, confusion. You could be hungry, might get a headache, you might get sleepy. All these signs and symptoms is meaning you have low blood sugar. You know why? Because when the heat goes up, you're going to start using a lot of blood sugar also. And when that happens, the body actually try to retain your sugar, but it will also use that up because they're not, you're not replenishing the sugar. Your body reacts by using more sugar, then you will get all these symptoms start coming in. So very important, you have to know what sign of the blood sugar when the blood sugar get low. A lot of people kind of didn't know. It's just thought that, oh, I'm just overheat. But it is actually more critical to understand your sign and symptom of low blood sugar, which you got to treat right away. In other words, you got to get a piece of hard candy, chew it on. I see people actually fainted and they look very scary because look like they're going to die. So I have to put some really quick, some sugar candy in the mouth so they can wake up. And I saw that right there on where? On a beach, on a hot weather beach. And I saw it with my own eyes. I got right away, give the first aid. If not, this person can die because of the low blood sugar. So, very important. You can take a picture of this low blood sugar symptom so you know what to look for. Okay? 嗱，各位朋友，好多時都有人啲唔記得咧，就係話，哇，原來當 weather 係好熱嘅時候咧，即係氣温好熱嘅時候咧，你個身體咧會開始用咗你啲糖嘅。咁用咗啲糖嘅時候咧，你嗰啲血血糖一路係咁跌落嚟，啱跌落嚟咧，跌下咧就會令到你咧係頂唔順咧。咁你就開始有覺得好似哇手震啦，開始個好 nervous 啦，同埋有啲sweating 啦，即係出冷汗啦，同埋咧有 irritable 嘅feeling 啊，即係好似周身唔聚財咁。咁同埋咧，仲有咧有頭痛啦，又有暈暈地啦，同埋咧仲有咧就係覺得好攰啦，想瞓覺啦，同埋覺得好 weak 啊，即係好似忽然冇晒力咁嘅啊，同埋有陣時咧有 blur vision 啊、headache 啊，同埋好多時咧即係做唔到嘢啊 ，coordination 唔得。嗱，呢啲咧其實好多人就以為係只係唔夠水啫，其實好多時唔係唔夠水，就係你糖太低。嗱，呢個好重要嘅，點解咧？一定 identify 咧，你唔 identify 咧，你可能真係會有生命危險嘅，因為如果糖質太低嘅時候咧，你係暈咗去，你暈咗之後可能 end up 就唞唔到氣，咁 end up 就會拜拜，唔係好正。因為我見過喺個 beach 嗰度，即係個海灘嗰度，我見過好幾個人咧，真係咁，我即刻要救咗佢啦，咁要俾啲糖佢食啦，咁佢哋咧去試醒得翻，其實好 scary 嘅，因為點解咧？佢睇到個人咧，直係好似就嚟死咁樣喎，因為佢糖太低啊。咁其實呢個係一個好危險嘅東西，所以千祈唔好 get yourself into this state。當你開始手震嘅時候咧，你使唔使擺啲糖、擺粒candy 喺個口度食下先？咁令到你最低限度咧，唔理佢係 high， 即係你而家係 dehydrated 啦，最低已經有糖喺度咧，咁幫助你咧。就唔會變咗係 low blood sugar 嘅 crisis，OK？ OK？So if you feel take a picture， 請各位影張相啊。如果你覺得你係已經有呢個低糖嘅問題咧，最好咧大家即刻咧去食個糖，變咗咧唔理佢係咪你而家係唔夠水分啦，唔係熱得滯啊，食粒糖喺最低度咧幫助咗你咧個血糖唔會去一個危險嘅境界。嗱，呢個就係中文版嘅，咁或者用個中文版去影一張相啦，咁你就知道咧，你係會個問題喺邊度。So do take a picture of Chinese one 啦，影張相呢度啊，咁你就會見到咧，就係原來你開始手震啊、出冷汗啊、攰啊、心跳又快咗啊、頭暈啊，呢啲影一張相，了解呢個低血糖嘅症狀。咁你又最低限度咧，如果有呢樣嘢，即刻就話食粒糖，咁然後咧再飲埋水，咁咧你就會更加係唔會 get yourself 一個叫做低血糖嘅症狀同埋個 crisis。OK， So we already talk about low sugar sign symptom. So when you do that, you need to take some carbs right away. So besides the hard candy, what else you do? So the way you do is you got to eat and drink 15 grams of carbs to raise the sugar. In other words, the hard candy will have give you 15 grams of carbs. If you don't have that, the best to drink is what? A glass of orange juice. So you can drink that orange juice to boost up your blood sugar first. And then in 15 minutes, you take your blood sugar, sticking a finger of your ability, do your ability testing. The key is if you have still 70 milligrams of blood sugar still continue to be low, which is somewhere in the neighborhood between 3 and 4, you got to continue to get more sugar drink or candy to help you to boost your blood sugar up. Okay, so importantly, remember, make sure if you have your blood sugar, if you measure 70 milligram per dil, or between 3 and 4, or even lower than 3, you got to immediately take more sugar, like a glass of orange juice, more hard candy, to help you to boost it up. And you should do it every 15 minutes because body is heat will continue to use the blood sugar. That's why you have to continue to do that. 嗱，各位同學，頭先講咗咧，知道已經嗰個低血糖嘅症狀啦。咁但係你已經食咗 hard candy 啦，咁夠唔夠啊？咁你未知道夠唔夠啊？所以咧，你其實咧最好咧食咗 hard candy，如果有機會飲杯橙汁，即刻降血糖，15分鐘就降咗血糖之後，知道你血糖咧原來只係得翻3以下或者between3 and 4咧， 你其實要繼續要係加多啲即係糖嘅食物，好似 for example 飲橙汁啦，或者食一啲糖啦。咁如果你繼續係 between 3 and 4咧，要繼續食多啲嘅，令到佢係5以上就 OK 嘅。如果唔係咧，你弊家伙成日都係撈咧，咁你又再暈過嘅。所以唔好即係一定。但係當你食咗橙汁、食咗糖咧，多數你都會即係 reverse 咗你個 situation 啊，即係改變咗個 situation 嘅。OK， so remember if you are lower than 70 milligram a day, you have to drink some orange juice very quickly. Every 15 minutes, measure again. You still low, take more orange juice and blood or candy to boost up your blood sugar. Okay. Now, when you're heated weather, you really need to do more blood testing to understand where you're at, especially people who are having insulin and they always have to have some carbs, candies, like sweet candies in your pocket. So that way you can almost, if you are too low, you can always get some candy. So how often you test is depending on the individual. If you are not insulin injector, you can actually maybe do, 4 or 5 times a day, but you can talk to your doctor or endocrinologist to check how often you test, especially the one that you are taking insulin. You really need to test probably a little bit more, because when the water is hot, it can use it up more, your insulin and body blood sugar. So make sure that you know how often you test. Now, in a sense, if you are using Abbott Libby, make your life is a lot more convenient, because all you do is use this little gadget, you check, what is your blood sugar, and then you go from there. So a little more convenient to help you to identify what is your blood sugar with much more easy. Now, as 記住。你哋每日咧都要 test 個 blood sugar。如果好熱嘅時候咧，你個去睇呢個 blood sugar， 去 test 多啲咧，時間係要多啲嘅，同埋要多啲去即係睇下你個即係多啲時間去 check 你個多 check 多幾次啊，應該係咁講 ，check 多幾個 blood sugar， 因為個熱咧係令到你個糖咧繼續係降低嘅，因為用緊你啲糖啊。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，你係需要咧。要知道你個糖係幾多，尤其是你打胰島素嘅人更加要 test 多啲。當然啦，如果有呢個 Abbott Libby 咧，咁你就方便好多啦。如果冇嘅話，你就係用篤手指都得嘅，但係你只係要知道篤去 check 幾多。咁最好咧就同醫生傾下偈，問下佢，喂，我依家好熱，check 幾多咧 ？check 4次啊，6次啊，咁佢可以俾啲意見你，因為每個人都唔同嘅，其實就。Now, one of the things that very frequently in all our clients, especially they are in hot weather, they all want to take off their shoes because it's comfortable, is not so hot and wet, and so or you walk on the beach. So very important, many of them actually will start taking our feet. But if you are diabetic, pre-diabetic, you have to always protect your toe, because any injury, it might not heal. When it's not healed, you know what? You might have to cut out your feet. So very important, even though it is you are going out to walk in the grass, very important. You don't want to just wear an open-toe sandal, but wear a cover sandals like Crocs, okay? And that is really what CDC also recommend, because you don't want to create injury without knowing, end up the injury will not heal. And on top of that, you also need to check the blister, cut, scrap, bruise. So make sure they don't get worse. And you have to wear cover shoes to prevent that injury. I know summertime, you want to wear something more comfortable, so Crocs will be good. And you got to get medical treatment as soon as you can if you really get injury. but do not ignore the injury because that might be end up is detrimental to your feet. End up you have to cut our feet will be terrible. I have a client, basically, actually, this is a client that I felt very touched. Her injury was only a twig to her toe. Ended up she had to cut off all her toe because just a twig to her toe. And she's a diabetic. A very nice lady. I really enjoy her. And just because of injury, a little twig, injured her toe, she had to cut it off. Imagine that. I don't want you to be in any of this position. So protect your feet at all times. In hot summer, please do not just wear open sandal. Doesn't matter. It is better. Okay? 嗱，各位球友，保護你隻腳係好重要嘅，因為我知道講得熱啦，咁梗係想着拖鞋啊，唔會話我突咗隻腳出嚟會涼啲啊。嗱，我知道大家都係會有希望呢樣嘢。但係好記得咧，你係糖尿患病者或者前期患病者，如果你啲腳係整親咧，係好難好嘅。咁就算美國 CDC 咧對各位咧都話，哇！如果你係要着啲涼鞋咧，要有蓋嘅涼鞋，要 cover 咗個肚個腳趾唔會撞親，同埋咧你要記住咧，要每日都要 check 咧，你腳有冇啲腳嘅POC 啊。或者損咗啊，或者瘀咗啊，因為如果係嘅話咧，你快睇咧，係咪會繼續壞咧？如果壞咗之後你睇醫生咧，就千祈唔好話唔睇住，因為咧可能呢個咧就 end up 咧就你會割咗腳嘅。我講係真實個案俾你，我一個病人啦，係我一個即係深受感受嘅病人啦。咁佢係日本太太嚟嘅，佢喺個花園嗰度做花園嘅時候咧，佢個 injury 即係佢整傷自己係一支刺嘅啫。但係一支刺咧就 end up 咧佢割咗佢嘅腳，所以腳趾割晒，哇！真係好陰功嘅。但係呢個人係好人嚟嘅，即係好欣賞佢人嘅態度啊，同埋。但係個問題就係佢就係一支刺，咁就令到佢冇咗腳嗰所有腳趾。咁啊，真係唔好想，我唔想你各位都有呢個問題喺度啦嚇。So take care of foot. Don't let just small injury you end up losing your feet. That is not worth it. Okay, now, as you know, it's so hot weather, but you know, very quick, you're going to have cold weather coming along. So what you got to do in cold weather? So the first thing, you have to watch. Especially November coming up, it's just only a few months away. I thought it would be good. You gotta start prepare yourself already. Watch for flu season. You watch for COVID-19 because your cold season come along. If you're diabetic, 60% of diabetic patients actually might be end up to go to hospital. Now, if you are really diabetic, you better really take your vaccine, 3 vaccine or 4 vaccine. I would suggest even 4 vaccine if you can, because COVID-19, all the diabetes who got COVID-19 always have very serious complications. Matter of fact, the early days, the people who die COVID-19 are all diabetes. They all have diabetes. So you got to be very careful on that. I hope that everybody not to get COVID-19. Don't get ideas that, oh, maybe I should get COVID-19. I won't get it again. No, take your vaccine. Don't get COVID-19 and watch out your flu. So you have 2 shots. 1, your flu vaccine. 2, you get your COVID-19 vaccine. You have to wash your hand frequently. Make sure you get your gel. One of the gel, always wash your hand. Get a small bottle of gel with you all the time. Whenever you go out, you open a car door, buy grocery, wash your hand with what? Alcohol, gel, something like this. Get a small bottle. Do that frequently. So that way you can at least don't spread the germ around or don't catch the germ from others. You always wear a filter mask when you go out. This is a filter mask. Get a surgical mask or get a N94 or N95. N94 is better than N95 because it's very thick, it's hard to breathe. But a surgical mask is really has to wear. One of the doctors was telling me when people wear a lot of masks, the flu patient get flu is dramatic drop. So they said, not too many patients come back to see me because of flu symptom. So definitely you can see where surgical mask is important. Keep your social distance. A public place is far away, 1.5 meters off or 3 meters, whatever that local standard, do keep us distant. And basically get a flu shot, and also make sure that you have what they call a diabetic kit for your flu treatment. Like, for example, you're going to have decongestion, sugar-free syrup cough medicine, and also maybe get your soup, to drink soup if you are really sick, and get your Lowsutea there. So you can able to drink a lot of fluid to ensure, because when you're sick, you have no time to go out to shop. You don't feel good about it. Get everything prepared with this so-called a flu kit for you to prepare your sickness. So that will be so important. 嗱，當你凍嘅時候，嗱，除咗講熱啦，依家開始講凍啦，其實好快脆嘅，因為依家已經係7月啦，8月、9月、12就嚟㗎啦。11月咧就係個 flu season 開始㗎啦。咁你嗰陣時咧有呢樣嘢咧，60%嘅糖尿患病者咧可能因為有 flu 咧就入醫院嘅。所以變咗嚟講，你要知道咧呢樣嘢快脆咧，第一就 make sure 啦，你唔會中 flu 啦，即係唔會中咗感冒嘅情況啦。第二咧就希望你有打3針嘅人打埋第4針啦，咁你唔會有冠狀病毒啦。洗手係好重要嘅，因為你嘅洗手咧就唔會傳染啲病俾人，或者人哋傳染俾你。咁你最緊咧就係用呢個咧，即係啲 gel 咧去洗下手，有一個細支嘅嘢去日日洗手，鬥咩都好洗手。咁有個習慣之後咧 ，you know what， 你嘅感染係低好多嘅。咁第二樣嘢咧就繼續 wear 你個有個口罩啦，要最緊要買個 surgical 口罩或者 N94 就口罩啦。咁同埋 keep 你個 distance 啦，即係依家多數係1.5至3個 meter， 睇下邊個地方啦。咁同埋咧一定要繼續去打你嘅防禦針，同埋咧就係仲有一個好重要嘅就係有一啲藥物係無糖嘅即係flu 嘅藥物啦，同埋咧要知道咧有啲湯食嘅嘢，因為你病嘅時候咧你真係冇乜興趣去做煮飯㗎啦。咁買晒啲嘢嘅時候咧，咁你就可以容易咧去處理個病情啦。同埋最緊要有啲去糖茶喺度，飲多你去茶，飲2個，最緊要飲2個 liter 更加好，因為你一定要 keep hydrated 嘅，當你係病嘅時候。So you can take a picture of this for Hong Kong。香港請影張相啦，或者會易啲幫助你咧記得晒啲嘢。咁如果唔係咧，你就或者唔記得頭先我所講嘅東西啦。咁So also, I know when you holiday, everybody will go to, different places, like go home for Christmas, Thanksgiving. So you really got to plan the holiday diet, because if not, what happened is, you might eat a lot more carbs and calories goes up and you gain a lot of weight, your blood sugar out of whack. So you really have to make sure you are well planned. I can tell you, don't forget your Lowsutea, because I have a client, her name is Faye Mao. She only 5-day travel to Disneyland with the grandchildren, but forget her Lowsutea, blood sugar way up high. But after she drink, come back and start drinking Lowsutea again, go back down. So on that 5 days, because she forgot her Lowsutea, blood sugar is out of whack. So she didn't realize that. So Lowsutea has to go with you while you travel. And you should also limit your alcohol intake, because when you drink a lot of alcohol, could be beer, could be mixed cocktail, your sugar also goes up. So if you can limit it or just don't drink alcohol, will be the best. And on top of that, when you drink alcohol, it might affect some of the medication also. So when you go winter, I know everybody will go travel with your home or wherever. Do make sure plan to make sure you not overeat. Or you don't travel, but you're going to add up to all kind of celebration, New Year, Christmas dinner. You also have to plan. 嗱，各位同學，我知道冬天嚟嘅時候咧，有好多節日咧，你會食好多嘢啦，佢會聖誕大餐啦、新年大餐啦，或者你要去人哋屋企去食飯啦，或者你係會去翻屋企啦，去或者去外國探你兒孫啊，咁你一定會食好多嘢嘅。咁呢個咧食好多嘢嘅時候咧，你一定要咧控制自己食咩啱咧，點能夠食呢啲嘢唔會 increase 我個 carbs 咧，係咪食多啲菜好啲咧？唔好食嗰啲甜嘅東西咧。同埋咧，仲有記住要帶去糖茶。嗱，有個朋友咧就佢嘅名叫飛貓，佢去咗5日迪士尼，唔記得帶佢個去糖茶。佢每日都有 exercise， 一樣食好控制低，啲血糖唔跌落嚟。所以變咗嚟講咧，佢翻屋企即刻飲啦去糖茶咧 ，guess what？ 血糖慢慢跌落嚟。所以即刻咧要記住，去邊度帶埋啲去糖茶俾我一齊去食嘢。如果你食大餐，飲多包去糖茶 OK 嘅，冇問題嘅。飲多包，咁你啲血糖一定會俾得控制。同埋仲有咧，千祈唔好飲好多酒啦，因為酒咧係會，尤其是 cocktail 咧係會 increase the blood sugar 嘅。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，酒咧亦都或者可能影響你個即係你個嘅藥物嘅反應啦。所以記住唔好飲酒同埋咧食嘢嘅時候要控制食咩嘢。OK。Also in cold weather, you really got to also take care of feet. Now, a lot of people don't realize in cold weather, because you are diabetic, you might not feel, or pre-diabetic, you don't feel, plus your pre-diabetic could be very dry skin. All that because of the nerve damage, you make yourself do not feel, okay? And your pre-diabetic, the same thing, your nerves start getting to damage too, but not quite there. So you're going to have a lot of dry skin. So you have to protect your foot by good footwear, like for example, very good insulated foot. Make sure that you wear moisture wicking socks to keep it dry. Plus, you got to moisture your feet all the time. Cream the moisture feet and your thighs, so that way your skin will be well moisture and smooth. And then you have to also get same thing, inspect your feet regularly. Make sure that there's no injury, no blister. And then if you do, make sure you get a doctor to look at it real quick to treat. Don't let it wait, because wait, it's going to get infected. You get worse. That's no good for you. For pre-diabetic, diabetic, it's the same thing. 嗱，各位堂友記住，凍嘅天氣你都要 take care 你個 feet， 直至熱嘅天氣啊。因為咧凍嘅天氣嘅時候咧，你可能着啲鞋凍咧就係咧，因為冇 feel 啊，可能有個凍泡出嚟都唔出奇嘅，喘咗有發炎啦。咁你一定要咧係要着好嘅凍嘅protect 鞋啊，裏邊有 insulation 啊、毛毛啊嗰啲咁引物啊，就 keep it dry 啊，要同埋要擺啲 cream 喺度咧，能夠令到你腳咧唔會咁 dry 啦，亦都唔會起泡啦，同埋咧繼續去 inspect 你隻腳咧有冇呢啲咁嘅腫嘅地方咧，咁你快啲去醫治啦。如果唔係咧，有任何嘅損傷咧唔好咧就弊啦，你真係喺度cut咗隻腳就真係好唔好啦。And again, when you cold weather, also you have to test your blood sugar. The reason is because you don't catch a test because cold is also use up your blood sugar. And at the same time, a lot of people don't realize when in cold weather, you know what? Your blood sugar, when you test, you might not able to test your blood sugar because your hand is too cold. You might not get the blood to get the right reading. You might say, wow, how come it's so low? Or, whatever, the reading is not the same. And importantly, you have to make sure warm up your arm. And a lot of time in very cold weather, you have to warm your arm with what? Warm water. So you get the arm become warm. So that way, then you test your blood sugar. So keep that in mind. When your blood become cold, your weather become cold, the instrument is not really sensitive. You might not able to measure your blood sugar. It happened to actually, I believe it is the same thing. Cold weather is not that good. It doesn't measure if you expose yourself for a long time. So you have to actually get yourself warm up before you can get a good reading. 嗱，記住，當你到冬天嘅時候咧，你都要度你嘅血糖啦。咁但係度血糖嘅時候咧，你手凍咧就係咧啲血糖唔準嘅，所以度唔到嘅。所以可能咧浸隻手咧落去個一個暖水度咧 warm up 嘅手，先能夠做到呢樣嘢。So keep that in mind. Cold weather, testing your blood sugar, you gotta warm up your hand in hot warm water to able to get good reading. Now, again, in cold weather, your medicine, your insulin, your instrument has to keep in a warm area so it function properly. The best is carry your medication, your diabetic glucometer machine everywhere you go, instead of keeping it in a cold car, because it might actually end up it's not going to read or doesn't do the job that it's supposed to do. 嗱，記住凍嘅天氣嘅時候咧，食嘅藥物啦，同埋你嘅血糖機啊，呢啲就唔好擺喺車度啊，因為太凍咧，其實 end up 咧你嘅血糖機唔 work 嘅。咁千祈唔好擺喺車，因為有時佢凍到咧可能個0度以下，好犀利啦。咁所以變咗嚟講咧，呢個同熱嘅天一樣，唔好擺喺車度，要擺翻，因為跟住你行或者擺喺袋跟行，咁你就會好過咧。去到啲地方你度血糖度唔到啊。Now, in cold weather, we all know we have to maintain our exercise, but your cold weather cannot go out, so you gotta do exercise indoor. So best to do exercise indoor is basically like walking stairs, step master. So you can continue to keep up your exercise, continue to do a step master, plus you have the barbell go up and down with the arms like this. So you can keep up your exercise. Don't say, oh, because it's cold, I can't do it. That's not good. Now, in Hong Kong, it's good because it's cold. You can still walk the stairs, walk upstairs. I think in the United States, you can also find upstairs and walk, but you cannot. The best is do a step master, very cheap machine, get 2 barbells, do that. So continue exercise, do it for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You burn up at least 300 or 400 calories. And again, you break down your blood sugar. So that will be very important. 嗱，冬天咧，好多人就話好凍啊，我唔做啲 exercise，其實係咪咧？千祈唔好，因為咧喺冬天咧，日都可以叫 exercise 嘅。咁你做咩啊？你去行樓梯咧，香港就好容易行樓梯，亦都係做到啦。或者行 shopping mall， 亦都唔凍噶嘛 ，shopping mall 係冚住晒噶嘛。所以最緊要就喺啲即係有地方唔會俾你好多嘅地方去做 exercise。咁亦都做到嘅 ，keep up 你嘅 exercise。keep up exercise 係好重要個原因咧。你 keep up 就係令到啲糖咧係降低，亦都身體繼續健康，減你嘅磅 ，burn up excess 嘅 calorie， 或同埋你嘅糖嘅，即係你嘅 sugar， 咁你個身體咧係會繼續健康嘅。So keep that in mind. Don't let cold weather excuse you not to do exercise. So in summary, we talk about when weather get hot in all the different places and cold. We also have way to help you to treat your, help you to get your body to adjust to the heat, and way to give you tips to able to lower, because of the heat, you would not be getting your blood sugars all out of whack. The first thing you do is, because it's hot summer, you make sure you always hydrate yourself with Lowsutea. Drink ice Lowsutea. You can increase your fluid intake, Lowsutea intake, and also blunt down blood sugar, because your heat will get your blood sugar goes up also. Now you also want to stay outdoor. You want to do exercise indoor, go shopping mall, so you continue to exercise, but not to go out there when it's so hot. Your medication got to be in a cooler, and monitors also same thing. So that way your medication, especially insulin, are protected. You also need to know your sign and symptom of low blood sugar, and also need to test your blood sugar frequently, and also look at your foot, because don't just wear barefoot and injure yourself. That is no good. So keep that in mind. You gotta make sure in hot weather you wear cover shoes, protect your feet, you inspect it, don't get blister. If blister, make sure be treated, don't get injury, make sure you take care right away, prevent infection, or seek doctor help as early as possible. 各位朋友， 因為熱咧係會影響你嘅身體啦。咁我今日咧就俾啲 tips 你咧，能夠令到你咧可能夠幫助你最低限度咧唔會即係影響到你血糖好高好高。第一，當你好熱嘅時候，一定飲多啲水。如果最好咧就飲血糖茶啦，因為如果飲2公升嘅凍血糖茶咧，係幫助降低血糖嘅。咁但係當你好熱嘅時候咧，就唔好出去咧，係好熱去做 exercise 或者去個商場做 exercise 或者屋企做 exercise 有冷氣嘅地方啦。同埋好熱咧，就千祈唔好帶啲即係你個 insulin 出街啦，因為你 insulin 一定要雪凍嘅，係喺個雪櫃裏邊攞出嚟嘅，或者你要揾個細嘅箱仔擺啲雪嘅ice pack 喺度啦，咁保住佢。如果你去旅行嘅話，咁因為咧就要知道你嘅血糖係點樣啦。如果 low blood sugar 咧，你要知道好快脆知道咧，咁係保護你血糖咧降低嘅時候，快快食得糖啊，飲橙汁啊。咁同埋咧要知道 test 你嘅血糖係點樣啦，因為你如果唔係咧，你都唔知係你自己係從高啊低，一定要繼續去多啲要 test 呢樣嘢嘅。好重要啦，就係因為如果你天氣熱嘅時候，好多人就着拖鞋啦，但係拖鞋冇蓋喎，咁你就好容易咧整親你腳嘅時候咧，就唔會好辛苦嘅咧。要 inspect 隻腳，睇下咪有疹啊，有血即係有起泡啊、損壞啊，咁你就快脆咧要即係同醫生傾下點醫治呢樣嘢，就千祈唔好整太壞啦。OK。Cold weather is a very different thing. Now, in cold weather, as you know, in 3-4 months, cold weather could come. The flu season will start in November, early October, November is going to start. So you got to make sure you get a flu shot, your COVID-19 3rd, 4th shot. Make sure you are well protected. Make sure that you have all the cold medicine with low sugar cold medicine. Make sure you prepare yourself with soup and Lowsutea. Make sure that you have that ready for this cold season. And make sure you wash your hand. Gel, so important. Take it along with you all the time. So wash your hand all the time, prevent infection. And you have to plan your holiday diet because I know you have Thanksgiving, New Year, Christmas. All these dinner is going to add up on carbs for you and weight for you, so you have to in some way plan for your diet, especially travel. If you travel, make sure you carry Lowsutea with you, because if not, you may have blood sugar go up, but even the exercise and the sugar does not come down. Lowsutea need to go with you to help you bring your blood sugar down. Okay, you got to take care of feet in the cold winter, because if your feet are cold, you don't feel, you might get injured, you might get blistered. You have to have good shoes protected. You can have frostbite. We don't know if you have no good shoes. So always watch your foot. Make sure they get worse. If you test blood sugar, you're going to get your hand to be warm. If not, it will get cold. It won't get good result. You might say, my blood sugar is good. It's not, because your hand is just cold, not getting your blood sugar result correctly. And then you have diabetic medication. Make sure that those sugar monitor glucose in a good temperature, so it will be able to not screw up your insulin. And on top of that, in cold weather, you continue to do exercise, and cold exercise, and you're going to do it indoor, is outdoor. So you're going to do a shopping mall, or at home, do a step master. In Hong Kong, you walk upstairs, or places in US, you have a stairway. Do walk in the stairway, will be good too. So all these will help you to continue maintain your good health, maintain your blood sugar management for pre-diabetic, diabetic patient. I hope this will help you overall, give you an idea, keep yourself good health during hot and cold weather. 嗱，各位同學，凍嘅時間咧，一定要記住，就嚟 flu season好快嚟，3月後啦就到㗎啦。咁所以變咗咧，你就要真係知道咧，第一係咪再打呢個 flu shot 啦，仲有如果 COVID-19 嘅 shot 咧，即係冠狀病嘅vaccine 咧，就第3針或者第4針打埋佢啦，同埋最緊要咧，你要成日洗手啦，呢個好重要嘅，因為呢個洗手咧，記住繼續買啲 gel 咧，擺喺個 你個公事包咩都好啦，記住大約係咩時間都洗下手，咁你就唔會有一個感染嘅問題啦。咁因為啫新年啊、聖誕啊、感恩節啊，就好多大餐食嘅，咁你就要 plan 你嘅大餐，千祈唔好就係咁食晒啫，咁你 carb 高濕，血糖亂晒龍，就又有磅數高咗上去，咁你要 plan 你嘅 diet 啦，就唔好亂咁食嘢。咁同埋咧就要唔好飲多酒啦，仲有咧就係幫你希望咧喺如果你真係要離開香港或去邊度啊，去慶祝呢個聖誕節咧，記住帶去糖茶，飲多包都唔怕㗎，因為如果你食大劑嗰包，只係幫助你降低血糖嘅啫。咁同埋咧最緊要咧冬天咧你要戴住咧要帶嚟保護你隻腳啊！如果隻腳咧係太凍咧損壞咗，弊家伙啦，會有 pop 啦，你會損壞咗腳嘅時候咧，你就要 end up 就即係學你話真係唔好咧就好埋啦。所以快每日都睇住隻腳有冇問題，同埋着襪啦，要着啲鞋要夠厚咧，唔會令到你有生瘡啦，同埋要油去。make sure 你腳係會 moisture 啦，同埋有smooth 啦，冇 dry 啦 ，OK。咁之後咧就你啲即係 test 去檢驗血糖嘅時候，你手一定要 warm。如果唔暖嘅話咧係未必得嘅，啲血糖個 result 會出嚟嘅。咁所以你咧要知道呢樣嘢咧，就唔好就咁動手都去度咧，咁你可能就自己誤會咗，哇血糖好啊，其實唔好嘅。咁仲有咧，你所有藥啊、insulin 啊，一定要擺喺好嘅地方，唔好太凍嘅地方，而太凍咧可以損壞咗啲胰島素唔 work 啦。咁同埋仲有咧，就去你糖尿病者同埋前期患者，你一定要繼續咧係 keep up 你嘅 exercise。運動係幫助你嘅全身咧，令到更加好啦，同埋降低血糖啦。咁你話好凍啊，出去唔緊要，喺屋企做到一樣嘢㗎。你話做個 step master 啦，行樓梯啦，或者去 shopping mall 啦，都係做 exercise 嘅。個 keep up exercise 咧係對十分幫助嘅。So today I hope that I have give you an overview of all the steps you can prevent yourself in a very hot weather, how to handle this if you are pre-diabetic diabetes, give you some tips. I hope this will be helpful for you. And I hope if you have any question, you can ask. I'd love to answer any question for yourself. I will ask some question. Maybe either send me an email if you want to ask me a question. Put it here. And you can answer questions through this email if you want to in the chat. If not, I will appreciate. Thank you again for. It's nice to see Pat. You can able to hook up your Zoom again. I'm very happy of that. 各位朋友，多謝晒尤其是見到阿 Pat 啦，好開心啊！喺度講能夠再 join 我哋 Zoom meeting 啦。有咩問題可以寫個 email 俾我啦，咁變咗我可能夠知道咧你嘅問題可以答翻你啦。同埋咧就希望各位有個好嘅假期啦。So I appreciate you spend your weekend with us to listen, update your information of handling cold weather, hot weather as a diabetic or pre-diabetic. So looking forward to see you next week. You take care. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.